So I think there are three steps to talking to a person, or let's call it flirting at an event or something. So step one would be eye contact. Step two would be the walk by, and step three would be the random question. Okay, so let me explain each and every one of them. Okay, so step one is the eye contact. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, so it's just when you give a couple of eye contacts, not just when you look at a person once. You know, if you're at a party, a crowded place, and the girl looks at you a couple of times, and she kind of holds that eye contact. And same thing too, if a guy keeps looking at you, like every time you kind of turn and look at him, he looks at you too. And obviously, if you're turning and looking at him, you probably think he's cute too. So the eye contact is like step one. So step two is the walk by. So the walk by is, well, walking by. But I think Naija girls already have these hands down, like obviously walking to the bathroom at a wedding or, something. So the walk by is just making sure the person kind of sees you, and that's giving them a window of opportunity to talk to you if they want to. Because the eye contact is just like, okay, yes, we know each other, we kind of like each other, dig each other, whatever. But the walk by is like, okay, I'm giving you this window of opportunity, especially when I think Niger girls, we do it a lot because a girl is most of the time with a couple of friends, and so it's kind of hard for a guy to approach them. So you kind of give him that window of opportunity by stepping away from the crowd, and then, you know, that's the walk by. And the third one is the random question. This is the most important one because this is for both genders to really try, honestly. So this is the random question one. When you walk by the person and ask them a random question. So it doesn't have to be anything flirty or anything. Don't go and say, you've been running through my mind, or are you an angel that fell through the sky, or did it hurt when you fell from the sky? Don't just say any of this random stuff that can scare a person. I mean, that's just kind of creepy. Anyway, so the random question should just be exactly what it is, a random question, but let it be relevant, like, do you know what the bathroom is? Or I'm looking for my friend, I can't find her, she's tall, she's like wearing a yellow skirt. Just have that short, it has to be something that's really short. This random question can work anywhere, and you can really literally say anything. So at a grocery store, you can be like, oh my God, do you know where the freezer section is? Or at a wedding, do you know what the bar is? Or don't ask questions that have to lead to a gist, like, well, how do you know the couple? Because sometimes it might just be uncomfortable and long. So if someone is like, oh, he went to my school, and then you're like, oh, I know the bride from here, and then it leaves you in this awkward position. You're like, okay, so what next do we say? So unless you're sitting next to them on the table, but if you're walking by, a random question that's short is the best. So like, do you know where this is? Just ask a question, not how do you know the groom or the bride. And at like a grocery store, obviously, like where's the freezer section? At literally, you can find a question for every single situation you can be in. So for me, I think these three steps are pretty much the go-to. So step one is the eye contact. Like, I'm the type of person that I will just look into your eyes forever. Like, you either remove your eye from the way or just keep staring into my eyes. And step two, walk by. I really don't enjoy walking a lot, but I think you can do that every now and then. And the third step, the random question, that's like my go-to. I love the random question. Like, give me 2 seconds, I'm going to think of something to ask you. So I think the random question is really interesting because it's kind of like the easiest thing, and it's also an interesting way to start a conversation with someone without it being like, oh, I'm trying to just toast you, I'm trying to get you to talk to me or get my number or anything. It's just that random question. So hopefully that helped someone.